Have you ever completely misread a situation, made some wrong assumptions? Well, that's what happened to me in the summer of 1982. My husband and I had just moved from Grand Forks, North Dakota to San Diego, California for his first job right out of college. I had a couple of years left yet to go. One day when he was at work, I was driving on the interstate, practicing going on on-ramps and off-ramps, something I really hadn't done yet in North Dakota. It was a blue sky day. The radio was blasting Olivia Newton-John. Let's get physical, physical, I wanna get physical. And it totally didn't matter that I can't sing. When I noticed in the rearview mirror, there was this guy on a motorcycle with annoying flashing lights. Weird. Now, I've been in California for a whole week now, and I was getting used to weird things, weird people. I was not gonna let that weird guy bother me. So I sped up a little bit, and he sped up too, even faster than I sped up. He was chasing me. So I put the pedal to the middle, and I got some distance between us. But then, zoom, he was right next to me, matching my speed. I looked over at him, he looked at me, and I could see my reflection in his mirrored sunglasses. And then, he gave me the finger. No, not that finger, the index finger, and he pointed for me to pull over. At that moment, my life flashed before my eyes, and I realized two things. Number one, I had just led a police officer, of course, on a high-speed chase. And number two, very soon my wardrobe would be completely different. Bright prison orange. And I don't look good in orange. So, I pull over, turn off the radio, and waited for what seemed like an eternity for him to approach my vehicle. My thoughts were racing. I'd be separated from my husband. I wouldn't be able to finish college. I'd have to use a communal toilet. Finally, he gets off his motorcycle and saunters over to my car, hand on his gun. Oh my gosh! If I make a wrong move, he could shoot me. What do they do on TV? Oh yeah, window down, driver's license out, both hands on the wheel. Hello, officer. Ma'am, why didn't you stop earlier? And then the tears started coming. I'm sorry. I'm from North Dakota. Ma'am, I have never heard that excuse before. I'm sorry, we don't have policemen on motorcycles in North Dakota. It's too cold. Well, at that, he took off his mirrored sunglasses, I suppose, to get a better look at a bona fide hick, put them back on, looked at my North Dakota driver's license, and gave me a fix-it ticket for a malfunctioning taillight. Boy, did I misread that situation. Now, I may have forgotten the amount of the ticket, but I will never forget the lesson that I learned that day. I can be wrong. Yes, I admit it, Kim. I can be wrong. My assumptions can be wrong. My interpretations can be wrong. I can be wrong. You can be wrong too. Everyone can be wrong. So, what's wrong with being wrong? Well, you can make bad decisions, especially if you don't ask questions. You can make decisions that result in disaster. A few years after that motorcycle cop incident, I was sitting at my desk as an engineer when one day I got a phone call from my husband. He was at a car dealership waiting for some car repairs and watching TV. He said in a strained voice, "The space shuttle just exploded." 73 seconds after takeoff into a blue sky day, the space shuttle Challenger exploded and all 7 crew members were killed, including a teacher. It was because of a faulty O-ring. The NASA managers had been warned, but they hadn't stopped to ask questions. That incident left its mark on me as a young engineer, and I realized the importance of taking time to pause, taking time to ask the questions. Now, asking questions may delay decisions. It might not be the most efficient way to get things done, but asking questions can lead to better decisions, can lead to better solutions. One of history's most intelligent people, Albert Einstein, once said that if I had an hour to solve a problem and my life depended on the solution, I would spend the first 55 minutes determining the proper question to ask. For once I know the proper question, I can solve the problem in 5 minutes. Determining the proper question, asking questions. Don't be an expert at answering questions. Be an expert at asking questions. Be a questionologist. There are those among us who are experts at asking questions. They ask the tough questions. We call them children. Now, if you have had children or grandchildren, or a long time ago you were a child, you know that a big part of childhood is asking questions. Lots and lots of questions. I recently read that the average 4-year-old girl, and yes, girls do ask more questions than boys, asks 388 questions in a day. Imagine if you had twin 4-year-old girls. Well, I don't have to imagine that because I have twin granddaughters. And we have had a lot of conversations like this one. Grandma, can we go play outside? No, it's raining. Why? Why does it rain? Well, the water vapor in the air forms clouds and the water droplets fall as rain. Why? Why do they fall? Because of gravity. Gravity makes the raindrops fall. Why? Why? I don't have any more answers. Grandma. Yes, you do. Remember? Just Google it. Just Google it. They heard that several times. Google is great at giving answers, but it's not so great at asking the questions. Often questions matter more than answers, especially questions that shape the future. If you want to shape the future, if you want to engage people's minds and expand them, try asking questions, especially what-if questions. Just like the Wright brothers asked, what if humans could fly? And then answered it in 1903 with a 12-second flight. What if? In the mid-1940s, 3-year-old Jennifer went on a vacation with her family, and her dad took lots of pictures of her. She wanted to see the pictures like any child, but back then, the pictures had to be developed and it took some time. But Jennifer was insistent. Dad, why do we have to wait for the picture? Her father, Edwin Land, thought, why indeed? What if a camera could develop pictures right away? And thus was the beginning of the Polaroid Land camera with self-developing film. What if? What if more people asked more and better questions? What if? Mr. Toastmaster.